Hello, welcome back to Kingdom Reviews. I'm your host, Future Key Bearer. Well, it's time to clear the 13th and final floor of Castle Oblivion. So we move on to the next floor where the door is already open. I guess I get my answer about what happens when we don't use a card. As our heroes enter, Sora still can't remember the one who's most special to him, and only Goofy can't help with it. They admit that their concerns are getting the better of them, so Goofy suggests that they make a promise, and that will give them the courage that they need.
Yeah, let's do it! And if we get scared, or in trouble, or even if we get separated.
Or even if we sort of forget each other.
Whatever happens, we're friends.
All for one, and one for all!
Again, it's character interactions like this that I live for. As you make your way through the castle, Axel confronts Marluxia. If you haven't figured it out already, Axel's whole deal was to prove that Larxene and Marluxia were planning to overthrow their organization and eliminate it for him.
Since when were you suspicious of us?
Do either one of us have the heart to believe anyone?
Again, it doesn't make sense now, but it will.
Remember the order. You must eliminate the traitor. I always follow orders, Marluxia.
That is debatable. After continuing a bit more,
The organization's betrayed. In that name, I will annihilate you.
That line's not you.
and not very well delivered either. After the two fight for a bit, Marluxia summons Naminé to use as a shield, and even though Axel doesn't care, Sora sure as hell does.
I'd really rather not fight you. But I can't dishonor the organization, now can I?
Okay, jumping ahead again, but wouldn't destroying Sora be detrimental to the organization? After beating Axel,
It was worth saving you after all.
Saving me? What do you mean?
that is a very good question. Is he referring to letting Naminé go to tell him the truth, or something else?
Sorry, I would hate to kill the suspense.
Axel!
You think he's gone for good. So our heroes catch up with Marluxia, and he tells Naminé to erase Sora's memory.
Sora.
But if I do that,
That's right. Sora's heart will be destroyed.
How the hell does that work? If anything, wouldn't it just break his mind? However, Naminé refuses, but Sora says she can go ahead and do it if it means keeping her safe. Again, Sora's desire to help people is admirable, but very bullheaded.
I don't need any memories to take on someone like Marluxia.
Unless you say, lose your memory of how to fight, among other things.
You bet! Even if Sora forgets it all, Goofy and I won't forget.
Donald's right. He and I can remember everything for Sora.
Except the person who's most special to him. Seriously, it's a nice sentiment, and I'd totally be behind it if Naminé could only affect Sora's memories. If she didn't make the others forget as well, then this wouldn't be a problem. But as it turns out, Sora's not the only one still hell-bent on protecting Naminé, and Riku appears out of nowhere.
No. Just an imitation.
Eh, whatever. It's easier than calling you Riku Replica.
You turn from the truth because your heart is weak. You will never defeat me!
If strength of heart is what determines this fight, then aren't you dead on arrival? So you take out Marluxia, or rather an illusion of him, as the real one is waiting in the next room.
Riku, protect Naminé.
You don't mind?
Should I?
Fair point. So you go in to face Marluxia, and honestly, the PlayStation version blows the GBA version out of the water. Not just in visuals, but in content and challenge. See, up till now, the boss fights have been more or less the same between the two versions, the only difference being between 2D and 3D. But here there's an extra phase to the fight, and Marluxia has a lot of attacks that aren't in the GBA version. Yeah, that'll keep him in there. Or at least it would if there was anything left of him to keep in there.
You okay, Riku?
Not Riku. I'm a fake. I can't remember why I was created or where or when.
Those questions will be more or less answered in a future game, but I feel like the more important one is how. After some encouraging words from Sora, Riku goes off on what I can only assume to be a journey of self-discovery.
Can you put our memories back?
Yes. Not remembering something doesn't really mean that it's gone. When you remember one thing, that leads to remembering another. And then another, and then another. Our memories are connected. Many pieces are linked together, like they're in a chain.
I actually think that's an interesting metaphor to describe the memory. Using said metaphor, Naminé explains that she can't remove memories, just rearrange the links. However, the process of putting them back together is going to take a great deal of time. Even though taking them apart only took her a few hours, but to be fair, breaking something is always easier than putting it back together.
Oh, wait a second. You said you'd have to undo the links of the memories you made. But that means...
Yes. You won't be able to remember anything about what happened here.
Not even you?
I'm sorry. It's the only way, I'm afraid.
Okay, I get why she has to take apart the memories of her on Destiny Islands, but I don't get why she can't just leave this part of the chain alone. So Naminé gives Sora the choice to either remember her in Castle Oblivion, or regain his original memories.
Make me like I was.
You know what I love about that line? You can really get a feel for Sora's emotions here. Between his expression and the delivery of the line, it's easy to tell that it was hard for Sora to say that he feels horrible about having to forget Naminé.
To remember again, we have to sleep in that?
Yes.
Why?
Gosh, when we wake up, we won't remember who you are anymore.
But how are we gonna thank you?
Don't worry about that. I'll just make a big note in my journal. And it will say, thank Naminé.
Okay, this brings up a few concerns. 1. Wasn't Jiminy writing down this adventure the whole time? They should have some sort of record to look back on. 2nd, even if they didn't write it all down, really? Just thank Naminé? Not a description of who she is or why you should be thanking her?
Goodbye.
No, not goodbye. When I wake up, I'll find you. And then there will be no lies. We're gonna be friends for real.
That's gonna be tricky for a number of reasons.
Okay, it's a promise.
Now you might think that the pinky swear is a little juvenile, but they actually take them very seriously in Japan. Once upon a time, if you broke your promise, you had to chop off your finger. Yeah, Japan doesn't mess around. And thus Sora is put to sleep. Why do I get the feeling that him waking up is gonna go like this? I slept too long! While in his sleep, Sora finally remembers Kairi, along with Riku, and all his Final Fantasy friends, for some reason. And somehow, he bids Naminé one last farewell. But despite the end credits rolling, we're not done with this story yet. Tune in next time as we take a look at the other side of this story.